So far, the crew has cleared every hurdle naysayers have placed in their way. Columbus would be home to one of the 10 inaugural teams. Columbus has outperformed much larger cities. The true success indicator has been from the fans.
Well, it's boys night out. And don't you know we're gonna
Hello and welcome to the club. This is the Upper 90 Club, a roundtable podcast where five friends discuss the Columbus Crew. On this episode, we review the 2-0 win over Nashville. Definitely not a 1-0 game. That was a 2-0 game.
Go to the World Cup.
We are going to have
The
another
World Cup.
edition of the Shootout with Chris DeVille. We actually pre-taped that one. Some tricky questions in there.
Yeah.
Some deceptively easy questions. Looking
He's a
at you,
ninja.
Mort. What else? We're gonna do some Crew 2 update. Bird had a baby bird.
Yeah, birthday!
Yeah, give us a big yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, everybody at home and in your cars and whatnot at work, give me a and then do the little sound where you're feeding the baby bird.
Well, that's yeah. You kind of took my joke. Like somewhere he's feeding the baby bird.
Yeah.
Okay.
not
And then we're gonna look ahead to Red Bull this weekend. The game is at home, right?
Yeah.
Sure is.
Yeah. If it was in Harrison, it would be awful. Okay, so let's go to let's talk about the game that just happened. I kind of want to get some reactions from the eighth straight sellout. Looked like great energy there. Who all win? It was Alba Ben. Is
Correct.
that right?
That's right.
It's just general rule of thumb.
Okay. All right. So yeah, how was it?
I tell you what, the first like 20 minutes was intense, and I mean the crowd as well as the play. I mean the place was boiling. I felt like after that, the crowd I think was a little overheated and kind of got a little. It kind of faded out a little bit in the middle, but in the start, it was just the crowd was in it. The players was in it. It was great experience. So no,
The weather was great.
yeah,
right?
it was very nice.
You string the sellout streak together with the fact that we have been in pretty good form, really. I mean, we had the one late draw last week, but other than that, four wins in the last five, and nice weather Saturday night. Playing
Last loss was to Nashville.
Well,
ironically.
and playing a team that was either favored to win or certainly in top form, right? And we've struggled at times against these top tier Eastern Conference teams, save for the Atlanta game. But anyway, I'm sure it was electric. I'm sorry I missed it.
Yeah.
Hawes,
Talking lineups?
where were you at? No. No.
I thought you
No,
were.
me and Haas were there together.
Yes.
Yeah, we were standing above 121. Is that your section, Mort?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You did the tailgate too, right, Trey?
No,
So
we
it's
we tailgated with a couple of friends, and he had family in town, so
Okay.
it was a group of about 15 of us, mostly children,
Dang.
running around
Parking lot.
half naked,
Makes sense.
drinking
Half drunk. You know how it
drinking
goes.
popsicles, drinking
Paps.
popsicles. The popsicles, the kids were not drinking.
Soda sickles.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Hawes, let's talk about the lineups. We texted a little bit about it, but we got our answer of how they were going to handle Aiden being out for U.S. duty, but jump into that.
He said,
Yeah, so the top three, we had Hernandez, Ramirez, and Zelarayan. Then behind that, we had Yaboa, Nagby, and Matan stepped in for Aiden Morris. And then Farsi, then Amundsen, Moreira, Zawadzki, and Schulte in goal. So
Yeah. So
Yeah.
who was it that said that about Matan? I mean, I think it makes
I thought I did.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think you both did.
Same time. You guys said it at the
Zelarayan
same
dropping
time.
back.
Sure.
It makes more
Twins.
sense than dropping Lucas back, like what we talked about, right?
Well, I thought it was going to be Parente. I thought this was very interesting. Unfortunately, I did not have my phone, so I wasn't able to blast you guys with all my thoughts during the game. But
There's no reception.
you guys
at
had
the
made
game
reference to, yeah, because there's so many people.
Yeah, we
That's
were
pretty awesome.
trying to hit you up, but couldn't. Nothing was going through.
Yeah, there's like 4 texts. I'm like, normally I get just made fun of the entire game, but didn't happen. So yeah, it's interesting because I think what I believe, Haas, you said it was going to be Matan. I was like, there's no way. And then Mort made a good point, like you play your best players. And I was like, interesting, because that's what the U.S. did as a parallel in the CONCACAF thing. They just played their best players, and it worked out. And then when I saw Matan, I was like, I want to see how this goes, because he's not, I mean, I guess he played more as like an 8, but that first half was just like electric. Like it was insane. Like we absolutely crushed Nashville. I know Nashville was didn't have their players. I'm not even sure if we even mentioned that Bunbury wasn't going to be playing. I didn't realize he had.
Well, we talked at length about
don't like him.
shutting him down.
With-
Yep.
Yeah, because we
we
were like,
did.
oh, we should bring up
He
his
didn't do
brother. Yeah. So I mean, it did, but
Mission
even that-
accomplished. Fly
yeah, I mean, I
banner.
think that we'll talk more second half of, it was a lot better that they didn't have their starting, strikers up top, save for Hani, but it was interesting. I would not have started Matan. I think I was the only person surprised. Was everybody else kind of like, oh yeah, Matan, that makes sense? Because I was like, no,
yeah,
it should be
I think that's what we had
Parente,
talked about.
Thought-
No,
Well, and it seemed like
no.
Was I the
it
only
seemed like
person?
Matan was playing a little more advanced than Nagby. Nagby was
100%.
dropping back more defensive, and Matan was playing more forward, kind of in a diamond shape in the middle. But not the whole game. He was, I mean,
And Zelarayan was definitely playing a little deeper than he normally is as well.
yeah.
It,
which
it was
allowed us
good
to
see.
control the middle of the field.
Well, it was good to see, that we're able to make a technical adjustment when we have somebody out, and you see a different type of team on the field. It's not just like one person stepping in for the other one. It is a person stepping in, and the team is playing differently. So it's a completely different wrinkle that you could throw at another team moving forward, which is cool.
Yeah, I think I joked about like, yeah, if Matan's on the field, we're going to score 1,000 goals because it would be like 4. I'm like, yeah, 4 people like that. That just seems like asinine. But I mean, that being said,
I'm sorry, I gotta stop you guys.
okay, and we're back. The Pink Panther villain Haas was doing weird stuff with his video,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
freaked Marcus out.
So
I got.
yeah, I
freaked out
think
for a
the
second. All right,
biggest thing is, you've got a different wrinkle that you can throw at teams moving forward. He can put a different formation on the field, and we can compete in a different way. So if a team is going to throw something at us, or we have injury to Aiden or somebody else,
Please no.
and man, Nashville's a hot team. This is one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah,
And we came out
Yeah.
and really took it to them.
Well, and I when I saw that Matan was in place, it might just be my tiny brain, but I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But I could sit and think about it forever and not get there, but yeah, it totally makes sense. So, and you guys said it came out really hot. 20 minutes, and then that took us to the goal, right?
I think prior to that,
Oh,
we
there
had
was-
like 2 or 3 opportunities that were like Cucho had one that missed
Like just
the goal
wide.
by.
Just wide.
Yeah.
It looked like it was. Like I saw it on the replay, and I was like, I still don't understand.
No,
how this didn't
there
go in.
was-
Like he thought it was going in.
There was somebody pointing this out to me this morning, and we didn't really talk about it right after the game about Zimmerman, but somebody pointed out in the start of the game, Zimmerman probably kept us out of their goal about 3 times, where he made huge play, and they said, you know what, I didn't think much of him, but he actually
Yeah, I didn't
really helped stopping us in the start of the game. I don't know, I it could have been the place. I missed it from watching it live, but yeah, we could have been up 3-0 in the first 20 minutes, and now it started to come to that point where I'm like, okay, we got to get that goal. If not, they have quality
Yeah.
and they're going to come on a counter or something, and they're going to get that goal that just kills our momentum. But,
At the 17th minute, they showed possession, and we had 74% of possession through 17 minutes. Like we were just coming in hot.
Dominant. And Ramirez
again,
went down after a big chance, and he was like pumping up the crowd and stuff. It was like, it was fun. People were like, "Wow,
he's having a blast.
Yeah.
He's having a season too, honestly."
Yeah, absolutely. And to that, we talked a little about players. He's like Zelarayan. He's got a free roll. He was all over the field, sometimes all the way back. I think he's allowed to just do whatever the hell he wants.
Oh, he came back from international duty, and he's like, "Okay, I'm the best player in the league." Yeah, he does it because there was sometimes when I was watching, I was like, he's putting moves on, like extra moves on people that he doesn't have to do, but he just is like. I genuinely think his confidence is like 100%.
For sure.
He's just like, I am not going to, and it worked. He did make guys look silly like 2 or 3 times, and I'm like, you can keep going, but I mean, he is on a different level.
Oh yeah,
like, I mean, he's absolutely
that set piece he took later in the game, where he put it in the top right corner. I mean, it was blocked, but. Joe Willis was a great keeper.
And he's the one that also leads off the goal.
But
right?
the confidence is
insane.
Yeah, it's insane. So, Haas, do you want to talk through that goal?
Yeah. So 20th minute, Schulte throws the ball out from his box to half field, which I don't recall him ever doing before. Like just launching the ball,
playing direct balls,
just throwing it all the way down the field, essentially. So it's in the direction of Zelarayan. Anunga wins the ball, but Zelarayan bodies him off the ball and takes it towards goal. He wins it and just turns and is running at goal. Ramirez, Cucho, and Matan are all streaking down the field with Zelarayan. It's essentially a 4-on-4. And just as Zelarayan is about to get tackled from behind, he slips the ball through to Ramirez into the 20-yard box.
Well,
he takes one touch with his right foot and pushes it across his body to his left and shoots it past Willis. That's 4 goals and an assist in his last 4 games, and he's at 7 goals and an assist on the season for Ramirez.
Man.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So that was not credited as an assist because it wasn't last touched by Zelarayan. I double-checked before we logged on here. Zelarayan actually didn't touch the ball. The defender
considering that coming from a league who is known to give a MLS assist, which is 2 players before.
Yeah, hockey assist.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah.
I mean, whatever. Ramirez, to be onside, take that ball, and put it in was phenomenal. But that was I want to take it back to when Zelly won the ball off that guy. Like that guy is twice his size, right? Like twice his size. And this is a prime example of what I was just talking about, where he's like, yeah, doesn't matter. I'm just going to take the ball off this guy. So he thinks he's coming to his right, and he just quickly goes around him to his left and just takes the ball off him, and the guy falls. And I was like, that happened 2 or 3 times this game. I'm like, what is he like? He's never bodied somebody. Like that's not his game. But now, like everything is his game. He just is like, it's my ball. I'm going to take it now. Like it's just, it was that to me was the catalyst of this entire thing, and it was just like insane.
The other one,
like he's
go ahead.
Insane. No, you're good.
The other one that started on fire, kind of phased out a little bit later in the game, was Yeboah. He was involved coming down that left lane so many times. He had one time he did like a power move, and he just knocked the ball past the defender and ran around it.
The other way.
That's not a slow defender, by the way.
It's Mule.
Yeah, Mule.
That guy. Yeah. Didn't he? Where is he from? Is he from England? Is he English? He's a very good player. He's like
American.
Okay, I feel like he even
speaks English.
He speaks English.
No, that was a dirty move. I loved it. It was a power, as you say, power move.
Because
right?
he stopped afterwards and let him recover, which I kind of you can question why he did that.
Fatma gave Yeboah the highest rating of the game. 7,
player of the match. So. I mean, there was a lot of people hovering around that. Like Zelly had 7.6, Ramirez had 7.6, Cucho was 7.6, and Schulte was 7.5. Zawatsky was 7.5. I could be here all day. Like everybody was like, right around.
Sure.
Hold on. Could you put more names and numbers out there just so that we can continue to ponder those things?
Yeah,
Or we could talk. I mean, the rest of the half kind of had the same vibe, right? Like I thought we commanded the first half pretty uniformly, right? It was it didn't feel like it took like a downturn or that it got significantly higher pressure. We just kind of played it out.
We took the foot off the pedal a little bit because you can't play like that for 90 minutes, right? It was like we were.
Well, yeah, I mean for 45 though, right? Like you're saying, you're saying we
we were in control. It was controlled. We never
it was a good performance.
Yeah. They never felt like they really got anything really going, and we kind of had full control. We just stepped back a little bit, just like okay, we can't sprint after the ball for the whole 45.
And it also felt like multiple times when Nashville did have opportunities, they'd get a shot off, Schulte would save it, and then it was an offside call before they even got the shot off multiple times. So
he has been doing that the past couple games. Like it's been offside, but he still makes an incredible save, and it doesn't count. You know, like they don't count it as a save or anything like that. But it's just like I'm like, it's crazy.
The other
Schulte's
thing is
having
a player obviously
well.
we're going to come back to was how Moreira was handling, and everybody on the back line having Mukhtar. Seems like every time the ball comes, they're trying to find him anywhere on the field, but they always get a little nudge. So his first touch was backwards or a little awkward, or like always keeping him a little bit off balance, which they did perfectly. And Mukhtar never really got into this game at all.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think second half was a little bit different.
He had a couple of opportunities, but not
opportunity. Like correct. Yeah.
The type of player that he is that he typically.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, so let's jump to the second half. You want to start there? I mean, my general vibe on the second half was like, I think we kind of came out strong enough. Maybe 50th, 55th minute. I don't know if it was like a creativity drought or if there were tactical changes or say, I mean, I'd like to hear your thoughts, but kind of felt like there was about 20, 30 minutes in there where Nashville was knocking on the door.
Yeah, they definitely had a lot more possession. If you look at the weird, funny momentum graph guy that FotMob has, or like pretty much any of those apps, the first half of the second half was
welcome to my world.
Was all Nashville. Like it seemed
quarter of that.
See, but
you wanted me to talk about numbers, so I'm sitting here talking about fractions. I'll do this all day.
I saw that graphic, but I was rewatching the game, and it didn't feel that way rewatching the game.
Okay, Haas died. So, I'd say the first half we gotta. Okay, welcome back. All right, Haas, you ready?
I was just saying it didn't feel that way rewatching the game. Like actually watching the game and looking at that graph of the momentum. Sure, they had more possession than they did in the first half, starting the second half, but rewatching it felt more back and forth than actually Nashville possessing.
Yeah,
like
but
that.
I felt it in the game. In the game, I felt like they came out. You felt like they had more going on for them than any time
they were in control.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe not from a possession standpoint. Maybe it was more back and forth. I felt like we weren't driving the game like we were in the first half. I felt like we started the second half strong, but then there was just this period of like say 20 minutes or so where I was like, they're gonna equalize. And that kind of dissipated, but. I thought they were going to score.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I guess you said you rewatched it and it didn't seem that way. Which, honestly, on second rewatches, I feel that a lot because I'm a lot more emotionally invested at the time, especially when I know the outcome. It's a lot easier to rewatch a game and be like, I can pick this apart and like, oh yeah, they weren't as front footed, but we were just so dominant in the first half, and I was like, again, I felt. And this is kind of my thesis of this game is I wish we would have put it away sooner because I felt like, okay, cool. Our style, we tend to give up goals. And I was worried as the game progressed that it was going to be another game like, who did we just tie? Why is my brain like
New York City FC.
New York City,
Yeah.
NYCFC.
Like that game doesn't count because it was on a baseball field, but like it felt like at any point Mukhtar could just score. Like that's kind of his MO. And I'm like, man, he didn't have that good of chances, but he did get some space. And I was like, man, this is gonna, if we don't get another one, this could turn south. And it stinks because we played so well the first half. It would have been nice to have another buffer. Like
we had the looks. It just, it either glanced wide or there was a handful of saves in
16
there.
total shots.
To
in the
Nashville
game.
7.
I don't remember when there was a circus sequence there at one point. I think it was in the second half. I didn't jot down the time, but it was when we had like 3 shots on goal.
88, 87, 88.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, that was intense.
There's a couple of those,
83rd.
but yeah.
But even outside of that, I mean, we had plenty of looks. Again, we talked about this last week. We're just inches away from doubling our 1-0 score line that we've entered the 90th minute for the last 2 games.
You were hanging on by a thread.
Yeah.
Well, again, go ahead.
They were making some changes.
I was just going to say that.
They were making changes around the 60th minute, I think, first time a little bit later. They actually subbed 4 players, before we subbed 1.
Yeah.
And we were gassed. We were getting gassed.
That's what I saw.
Already around when they were subbing around the 60th minute, a lot of our players were starting to feel in it. And you can see
on the telecast, I think it was Ramirez, might have been Cucho. Somebody was just like doubled over, like at the 60th minute.
Well, it was like Cucho and also Zelly. Zelly played 2 games for Armenia and then comes back. I kept yelling in. I'm like, why are we not subbing in Rowe? Like, this is a perfect game where he can just run in the back line and then like.
Oh, yeah.
I think when Max came on, I was like, oh, that's right. He's playing for Canada. I completely forgot.
Oh,
I'm an idiot.
Yeah. So our first sub was in the 82nd minute. Parente came on. For Ramirez.
Typical, and they said it on the broadcast. You guys were at the game, but the broadcast, the Apple announcer was like, "Oh yeah, typically, especially when they're making the second double sub, because they subbed in Zubak and they subbed in Shaq Moore, U.S. men's national team fame, quote unquote, World Cup, quote unquote, and then brought in Sean Davis in Washington. I mean, that's 4 subs before we even.
Were you not listening to the local broadcast?
I need to. It's the non-local broadcast is brutal.
Yeah,
I think I'm the only one, but
you're a fool.
I'm a fool.
So yeah,
just a fool.
Parente was brought in. I mean, Ramirez was he needed it. He needed to come out. I mean, it was an appropriate sub.
Well, and then you just slide Matan up, drop Parente back into the midfield.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And there was one moment, Farsi and Mukhtar had a collision of heads.
Oh yeah.
And then
and that did not look good.
A minute.
How was it live?
Took a minute. I didn't recall it taking that long live, but there's like 30 kids running around and lots of conversation going on.
None of which are yours.
But the ensuing corner kick is where I first really started to notice Nashville trying to crowd Schulte and the crew putting defenders between Schulte and those Nashville players, just like we had talked about previously.
They must listen to the pod.
Yeah. So,
and I posted on Twitter,
and there was a big fight that went down, a big scrum, and Zawadzki got like in the face of somebody.
Yeah,
I didn't understand what really happened though. What caused that outside of them just crowding Schulte?
But I like it.
It was Morera's mark, right? So Morera was marking that guy with the frosted tips.
Oh, and he got a yellow from
for
that.
all the non-90s kids. Yeah, he did. No, Morera didn't.
Yeah, he did.
They
changed
it.
Oh, the announcers were talking about it like it was Nashville.
They were. Yeah.
And the Nordic was saying you can.
They were talking about it,
and he got the yellow card.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really strange.
Man, that sucks.
Those commentators were saying that it was a Nashville deal, but when they showed the graphic, it showed Morera.
And of course, right before they had the episode with Mukhtar, and and Farsi. And Mukhtar was saying that was purpose, and he was like mad. He was arguing that it was like
It
on purpose.
wasn't.
And
not a
and
chance.
it was interesting because he come kind of on a late challenge later on Farsi,
and got a yellow.
He got a yellow, and he was still pointing back and arguing and pointing at his head. To the ref when that happened too. So if he had been a little bit dirtier there, he could probably been in trouble. But it was nothing but a yellow.
Yeah, but that was a tackle from behind, and it was poor. Like, I was not happy about that.
Yeah.
I could tell right away. And the thing is, like,
sportsman-like.
Yeah, the Farsi header does suck. Like, it looked bad on replay. Even usually in slow motion, those like head to head, I'm like, yeah. But that one was, they were both like going in, like moving their neck, like actually hitting each other in the head. So when they went down, I was kind of worried. But it seems like they were okay. The foul afterwards was garbage. Like, absolutely.
It felt like Farsi was just going to keep rolling down the field. It was like 6 barrel rolls.
Yeah.
When he got one with the header?
the Mukhtar's foul from behind on him.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was full speed.
Well, that
They
in
were
slow
both
motion
full
too
speed.
was hurt. Oh yeah, that looked like it hurt. Like, a tackle from behind, man. Get out of here with that crap.
So then Haas said it on the text that in the 85th minute, after Parente came on, in the 82nd, we brought in Viacia again, which is his
good to
first
see.
game in 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah, and I think so.
I didn't realize he was on the
Suazo.
bench. Hey, Luis Diaz
Deganek was on the bench
too.
too, so
That was great. It was a lot of people
starting
on the bench.
to
Wild.
hopefully get healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then you guys said that Williams is playing with Crew 2.
He played Crew 2.
He started.
Oh,
did he
did
go the
play.
whole match?
Okay.
No.
That's good though.
I'll double
Minutes,
check
are, good-
that
minutes are
because-
good for him.
Yeah.
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 So
yeah. But it was good. He came on and played well. Viacia played
we're
well.
still playing
He
with
did.
our patchwork back line too. I mean, all these guys are getting healthy.
Man, they're playing well though.
And now we've got depth.
well.
All of a sudden we've got depth.
Yeah, second best team in the league, and we had 4 people playing out of position this
Yeah.
game and won easily 2-0. It was
Yeah.
it feels good. It feels good. It feels real good.
Yeah. So then what else? Nashville had a sub at 85. They had a like for like, and then we brought in Arvston in the 90th for Matan.
Capybara.
Yes.
And he was the one who scored, right? I mean, I know he didn't actually score, but that was his play, right? That came off Jack
Yeah.
Marr.
Yep.
Yeah.
He put the
Okay,
ball in
so
the right position.
that was
And in
90
theory, that's a Zelly
He created it
assist
for
as
sure.
well. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that was a great service from Lucas. 90 plus 5. Again, it was looking like 1-0 game, but this team is not a 1-0 team. So
It's like two in the last 3, you were saved. Again, for the listener who doesn't know, he made an off jokey type thing there where Mars said if we ever win 1-0, he would buy an Austin jersey. And
yeah,
he has been saved multiple
just
times.
the
in
context
extra time.
the context
also, 10
of the
minutes
comment.
of stoppage time.
It's been in
The
the shopping
context of
cart
that
many
comment
times.
though is you guys make the same point every week, and it's just that we are set up to score a bunch of goals, and we are set up to allow a bunch of goals, and so the likelihood that we're going to finish a game 1-0 is low.
It's
So
but it's getting more likely.
Disagree.
As
Yeah.
this defense,
recently it's been like
you can only hold on for so long.
you're just like paying the ref. Like when I saw 10 minutes of stoppage, I was like, that is a Mars thing. He paid the ref.
Called in a favor.
Yeah. Like 10 minutes. I was like, in what world?
So
is
Haas,
10 minutes?
talk through that goal, and then we'll take a break here.
So yeah, Zelarayan plays Arvston through. The Nashville backline was in shambles at that point. Zimmerman was all the way forward, playing as a
forward,
false
yeah.
9, according to the Apple people. As that ball is played through, Willis rushes out,
Sure.
and Arvston beats him to the ball and plays it around him. And he kind of cuts the ball back to the 6-yard box where Cucho is making a run, but it goes off a Marr and into the empty net.
Unfortunate for Mark, because Mark, whatever. He actually had a pretty good game.
Was he
considering.
trying to play it Was he trying to play it, or was he?
He was
like-
trying to play it to Cucho. I watched it again right before we hopped on here.
No. Was Mar?
I-
Was Mar trying to clear it? Like, what was he trying
No,
to do?
he was just trying
unlucky.
to
Glance it wide.
no,
No,
stop the pass because the pass was coming back to the 6
You're just
to
reaching
Cucho,
out.
so
Yeah.
he was just trying to like put his foot out, and it hit off the inside of his calf. And
Yeah.
went in.
Yeah. And his
All right,
body
so-
shape was fine. It was facing out. It was his left foot.
Yeah, his
like
body
it was
shape is
everything was
real
correct.
fine.
It was just he had a real hourglass. You know how I do.
You know how it is.
It's about time for
Yeah.
a break. You're right.
All right, let's flip that hourglass over and take a break. When we come back, let's do the shootout. We'll be right back.
This episode of the Upper 90 Club is brought to you, as always, by Supporter Supply Company. Hi, friends, this is your good pal Morgan Hughes, here to talk to you about a serious issue facing 96% of all crew supporters in Columbus. Why, not enough free shipping, of course. For a limited time now, through the eventual heat death of the universe, Upper 90 Club listeners can use the promo code Upper90Boys. That's boys with a Z on the end of it, at checkout for free delivery on absolutely any order over $10. But Morgan, what if I order $10 worth of stickers, or those goddamned buttons, or some other combination of small items that make you want to kill yourself? Will the free shipping still apply then, even as you curse our family, while you package up our little tiny annoying ass order for us? Of course it will. That's just how much we here at Supporter Supply value our friends at the Upper 90 Club. So head on over to supportersupply.co and use the promo code Upper90Boys. That's boys with a Z at checkout for free shipping on all your orders over $10. And don't forget to tell them that your friends at the Upper 90 Club sent ya.
We are pleased to have Chris DeVille, the managing editor of Stereo Gum, our old friend and administrator of the Shootout with Chris DeVille, back on the show. Chris,
Yay!
welcome back to the club.
Yay!
Great to be back. Sorry it took so long.
Oh no, it's made the anticipation palpable. So I'm anxious to hear what you have brought for us. Just a refresher on this segment. Chris has prepared 5 crew trivia questions. I should also mention, and I didn't before, that Chris used to be the crew writer for the Columbus Live. So
Right.
anyway, Chris has prepared 5 trivia questions where they are multiple choice. We're going to run through those
Yes.
and
Oh, thank
keep
God.
score. We're definitely going to keep track of the standings and see who is crowned the golden boot of the shootout. So, Chris, without further ado, take it away.
All right, cool. So I think that I got a good mix of some like super easy stuff and a couple tougher ones, but I guess we'll see.
No pressure.
All right. So the first question, the crew currently plays their home games at lower.com field. The previous venue changed names a few times. Which name has never been used officially as the name of the previous
Okay.
crew playing?
All
facility?
right.
Okay.
A, Lamar Hunt Park. B, Columbus Crew Stadium. C, Maffrey Stadium. And D, Historic Crew Stadium.
We have
So this is the easy one.
A Lamar Hunt
Hopefully.
Park.
Okay.
It was Maffrey Stadium. It was
Yeah,
What
it
was
A,
B?
Lamar Hunt. B was Columbus
Oh,
Crew
okay.
Stadium.
Okay.
C was Maffrey. And D is Historic Crew Stadium.
okay. Hold them up. What do you
I
say,
feel
guys?
like I'm being tricked.
lot of A's. Mort says B.
Okay.
Mort is wrong. It's A.
Yes.
I was saying, I was trying to be smart about it. I was thinking maybe it was over
Yeah.
Columbus Crew or something.
Yeah.
People
This is
used
why
to
I was
always-
terrible on the AC
It's like we don't trust Chris.
Well, people used to always like unofficially refer to it as Hunt Park, like in the within the fan community. Oh,
Mort is holding up his previous Heart Chris sign with a cross through it, with an X through it.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Next question, related to that. Since this was, I've been thinking about this because this was like recently, the anniversary of it was 2 years ago. The crew played their final game at historic Crew Stadium, and it was a 2-0 win over Chicago. Which player scored a brace for the crew in that game?
Ooh.
Was it A, Lucas Zelarayan, B, Jossie Zardes, C, Derek Etienne, or D, Miguel Berry?
Oh.
Your choices are A, Lucas,
I was there.
B, Zardes, C, Etienne, D, Miguel Berry.
I feel like I have this right.
I think all those
good
guys
about
had
this.
a brace that season, right?
Probably.
This is a tricky one. What I was going to say before that the thought lost me was I had a feeling that when you said the word official name of the stadium that that was going to be operative.
I didn't want anybody to be like, well, in the big soccer message boards we used to always call it Hunt Park.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So question 2, who had the brace in the final match at historic Crew Stadium? Hold them up. We have B, C, D, and Haas. What do you say? B.
B.
Okay.
Me
The
and
answer
Haas.
is B. It is Zardes.
Zardes.
Yes.
But didn't
That was
Barry
I feel like I
and
remember that.
Etienne had braces that season? They must have.
seems like they probably did.
I don't remember Barry ever getting a brace.
Maybe he just came on and scored
he
quickly or
probably
something.
that's true. He would come on and
He would come on in like 88.
Yeah, but that's why we liked him.
I feel like maybe he had
so,
a brace one time. Like he came on as a sub and had a brace once.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, had 2
I
quick
always
goals.
remember the Zardes game because it was like the last game at
Yep.
the old stadium, and it was my daughter's 6th birthday, and she was there with me. And anyway,
Yeah, I remember that. I remember because I was like, it felt fitting that he scored. I just remember being like, yeah, it seems like of all the people to score in the final game, like Zardes, like just felt right.
Yeah.
It was a fun night.
yeah, I missed
It
that
was a good
guy.
night.
Mhm.
Although I'd still take Cucho over him. But
For sure.
okay, now more current events. Just played against Nashville this past weekend. With that in mind, with this past weekend's victory factored in, what is the Crew's all-time record against Nashville? Your choices are A is 3-2-2, B is 2-3-2, C is 3-3-1, and D is 4-1-2. This is Nashville, which entered the league in the 2020 season, kind of a funky season. They faced off 7 times in MLS play, and your choices are A, 3-2-2, B, 2-3-2, C, 3-3-1, and D, 4-1-2.
I don't remember where they were playing when they first started, if it was at Vanderbilt or...
Nissan.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. They were playing at Nissan.
Yeah.
But that, I don't know. I haven't been to a game in Nashville at their new stadium, but what it used to be was just this like abandoned like track or something. It was like, I don't know, it was an area in need of revitalization, and leave it to Nashville to take one thing and turn it into another. See gas station taco truck, or gas station hair salon, or
bachelorette
gas
party,
station
city.
bachelorette party. Yeah. All right, guys, hold them up. C, I see it. Yeah, C, B, D, B.
Nobody got it right. The answer is
CBD.
A.
Wow.
Oh,
What was
This,
A? What A was like a winning record?
Previously, the record was 2-2-2. This crew up to taking the advantage.
Yeah, I started checking our doc. I was like, I bet you it's on the doc. I was like,
I looked at it when preparing.
I just know there have been a couple.
Oh, look at you!
I knew there was a couple of ties. So.
Okay.
All right. Next question. Which team has the crew never faced in MLS Cup? New York Red Bulls, Portland Timbers, San Jose Earthquakes, or Seattle Sounders? That's A, New York Red Bulls, B, Portland Timbers, C, San Jose Earthquakes, or D, Seattle Sounders.
like not in the cup. You're talking about like just in
In the
playoffs
MLS
or anything?
Cup. No, the crew's been to
in the
MLS
Open
Cup
Cup.
3 times. So they played against
MLS
3 of the
Cup.
teams that I just read off. I'll read them to you again. One of them is not real. And they're all real teams, but one of them the crew has never faced. A, New York Red Bulls, B, Portland Timbers, C, San Jose Earthquakes, and D, Seattle Sounders.
I feel like this is pretty straightforward.
It's C. It is the San Jose Earthquakes.
In
That's
the
what I
final
thought.
cup?
Yeah, this is you're having a one of those moments where like because you like
They're
weren't
in the same
watching
division.
Yeah.
Not but I'm guessing this
2008.
was an early
2008, we played the Red Bull in
yeah.
California.
Well, Red Bulls, they won the MLS Cup. Yeah.
I was having because I was like, my brain was going like,
And we lost to Portland.
yeah, we're in the Eastern.
and
There's
then
no
we
way.
beat Seattle.
They used to do the thing where the like last wild card-ish team in the playoffs like would get flipped over into the like
That's
we
right.
played them in
the other conference.
in a
wacky
neutral
realignment.
site.
You mean they made up
too.
rules?
Yeah, they had, and then the
in the major
And they
league.
had-
I mean,
the
it's been
final at a
somewhat
neutral
recent
site.
that they made. I mean, since maybe 2015 when they started doing
home field advantage.
a team gets to host.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and this year,
was it?
this year's going to be.
I can't remember if the one that the
was.
crew hosted.
It was the first one. Because I found out like that week.
Porters, Portland Timbers prevailed.
I was like, wait, they're coming here? Like
The
we
game
can
that
go?
didn't happen.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Last week
What are you-
last week
what-
we proposed that game didn't actually occur and that we have wiped it off of the internet's
Wikipedia.
history, but
That's what confused me too, because I wiped it out of my brain. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
You sure about that? That's why?
all right.
Yeah, that MLS Cup against Portland and Columbus is definitely
What?
a traumatic memory that many have probably suppressed.
They didn't even give me
Yeah,
enough
yeah.
time to get to my seat before we were down 1-0.
Yeah,
Yeah, before they redrew
neither.
the side.
All right.
We had plenty
Go
of
ahead,
time
Chris.
for that. But
All right, so I got one more question. Which crew player scored for the U.S. men's national team on January 27th, 2019? Was it A, Jossie Zardes, B, Darlington Nagbe, C, Ethan Finley, or D, Christian Ramirez?
Ooh.
The date was January 27th, 2019.
Who was it against?
The scorer. Oh, I don't even know.
Doesn't
I
matter.
can go look it up.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
that hurt your Google search?
What was the letters? And
Hold on, I'll give you the letters again. I really want to get this. It was against Panama.
Panama.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Now I got to find the tab.
Thanks, David.
Here we go. I had to find the tab that had us.
Panama City.
Okay. The options for the crew player that scored against Panama for the U.S. on January
Johnny.
27th, 2019. It was Jossie Zardes A, B, Darlington Nagbe, C, Ethan Finley, D, Christian Ramirez.
Man. Oh, just
Christian Ramirez feels like you're cheating. You know what I mean? Like wasn't a crew player at the time.
all right. Hold them up.
Right.
Okay, wait.
I'm good. You
Hold
ready?
'em up. A-D. Haas says C.
It is Christian
Wow.
I do it.
Mort. Mort made up for his first question whiff.
Christian Ramirez. Man,
You know what?
this was a tough one.
Yeah.
Just
well,
on
I
my
tried
brain,
to-
like they're
Could've
good
been.
questions, but I was not ready for this. I wasn't ready for this.
It was too late for
I'll tell you what happened.
and Finley to be in the.
I didn't even
Tell me.
realize that Christian Ramirez had caps for the U.S.
Yeah.
And so I was like trying to do something related to like Aiden Morris getting the call up and like something about the crew's history with U.S. men's national team. So I just Googled like Columbus Crew players on U.S. men's national team, and it gave me the big like Google results, and it was like Christian Ramirez. I was like, why would he even be listed there? And it turns out that has 2 caps, and he scored. Yeah,
Is that
man.
when he was hot with
2019.
Minnesota at the time?
It had to have been 19. Yeah,
Probably.
because I think 20 he went to. LA.
There's like nothing going on in January of 19 either, right? It was like,
January is like Camp Cupcake.
well, it was, yeah. Well, and it's like right after it would have been 6 months
January.
after the World Cup, right? Oh, that we didn't play.
Oh
in.
yeah,
100%
right.
Yeah.
didn't play it. Yeah,
Okay.
man, that's crazy. That's a good question.
All right. So, I was too involved. I forgot to keep score. How many did you? After like 3 questions, I was like, "Could I fake?"
You're busy
this?
answering
I
the
was like,
questions.
"Could I-
Also,
could
you
I
didn't answer any
fake
questions.
this?" And I can't. So who won? Who got? How many did you guys get? Mort did.
I got the first 2.
I got
We
3.
got like 8.
Haas was throwing heat.
How many did you get, Haas?
3.
3. Anyone else get 3?
Dang. I think I got 2.
5.
How many questions were there? 5.
How many questions?
How many?
We'll sort it
questions-
out later.
Good, Ben.
We'll sort it out later. Chris's time is
I had at
valuable.
least 2.
Ours is
Yeah.
not, but
Yep.
Ours is expendable.
all right. Well, yeah, we'll sort out the scores later. This has been great, Chris. Thanks for making time for us again. What are you up to these days?
Yeah, man. Going to Taylor Swift
well-
concerts.
Oh yeah, going to Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
Right.
well, I'll be seeing Haas on Friday at the Wednesday concert. Going to see Wednesday on Friday,
Nice.
Not confusing.
and
So
yeah,
confusing.
it is.
Don't
I didn't
like
realize
that.
how confusing their name must be for that in this capacity
Yeah.
until
Yeah.
I started telling people about the concert.
I wonder, like, if they have ever crossed paths with Thursday. Like,
I feel like at this point
For the
that
girl who sang Friday.
where's that show?
Anything is
Where's that show?
that's at Ace of Cups in Columbus, Ohio.
That'll be good.
This is going on up on like Tuesday or Wednesday this week. Is that
Yeah.
when this is being
Yep.
published?
Yep.
Probably my most recent byline will be I just wrote a like 10-year retrospective on the first Run the Jewels album.
Wow.
So you can go
How
to
long has
Stereo-
it been?
10 years.
Oh, what has happened?
Monday is the Monday, June 26th is the 10-year anniversary.
Oh my
So yeah, you can go to stereogum.com and read my thoughts on Killer Mike and LP.
I love that. God, I love
Awesome.
Those
And we
guys-
can follow you on Twitter at Chris.
At Chris
Yes.
DeVille.
And what's your check
Yes.
status? I feel like last time you were here, there was like,
Yeah, it went
Oh,
away.
No, it's gone. It's not coming back because I'm not going to pay
Okay.
for it.
How much is it? We can chip in.
It's only $8 a month, but it's also like, unless you're a like actual public figure, there's no reason to pay to verify
Right.
yourself.
right. Well,
Yeah.
you just, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll go make another account.
That's what I was just thinking the same thing.
And
I was like,
have,
I'm gonna
Chris,
be
I
Mr.
have seen some soccer posts.
Yeah, you're
you have it's
gonna
not only
create the
music, there's
account.
been a couple of crew
Yeah.
posts.
At official Chris
Right.
DeVille.
You can follow him at Chris DeVille _1.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds
all
good.
right.
Thanks, Chris. Great to see you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Later, man.
Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
You guys soon.
We're back. Are we? Are we back? Okay.
Kind of.
We tried this earlier and it devolved. So thanks again to Chris.
Thank you,
thanks,
Chris.
Thank you.
Thanks,
And as we
Chris.
mentioned at the top, Bird has a new President Bird has a new vice president. Congratulations.
Kamala Bird.
I'm sure that he is, I think this is his first kid. So it's very different.
Yeah.
The transition. What I always tell
Life has
people when they
changed.
ask me about having a ton of kids is the hardest one is 0 to 1,
Yeah,
it's
100%.
Shocking. So
It seems like it just everything's hard forever. Like that's what it is. All right, Bird, congratulations, man. Big congratulations.
It gets better.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It definitely.
She'll start having opinions. It's not great.
So we don't have a official Bird update for Crew 2, but did anyone watch the game?
Yeah, I didn't even know that his wife was in labor. So, but I ended up watching. I turned it on right at 55 minutes, and I got to watch the rest of the game. They actually played Huntsville. Oh boy, Alabama, right? And that's pretty much the MLS next to Nashville. It was interesting. I didn't see Josh. So I'm assuming Josh got subbed off early. He started. I did see where he started. I got to see the goal. We ended up winning 1-0. Gannon scored, which is
totally different style of play, right? 1-0. Go ahead.
Yeah. Good luck buying a jersey. Well, so from 55 on, they had 0 shots on goal from what I saw. It felt like our defense was actually awesome. And moving forward, it was very free flowing and stuff like that. So if you get a chance to actually watch the Crew 2, they play a similar style, and it is very exciting. And it was like a lot of fun to watch. It was a little bit slower, just build up and whatnot.
Were they at home?
Yep.
Yeah,
Doubleheader with the Eagles.
Yeah,
the
women's Eagles
team
played afterwards. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And they're fans there. Like it's a great atmosphere. It looked awesome. I was just luckily was able to catch it, randomly and whatever. But we played well. I mean, the thing that stood out to me was the defense. It seemed like we still played like a 3-4-3, but anytime they tried to hit us on the break or do anything, we were pretty dominant on defense. Like it was awesome. It seemed like Gannon played well. Fusion at the end had a bunch of chances that were just missed. And we have some other guys that just seem awesome. Like
feels like
great.
We've been in pretty good form.
Yeah.
Not
like last
couple
year
losses,
where we were just, like, smashing people.
Right.
For
a couple losses like maybe a month ago, but generally doing well. And so then let's talk about the Crew, just kind of zooming out. We don't really do this much, but Haas mentioned it during the break. We are 7th in Supporters Shield right now. We're sitting, what is it, 5th in the East? So maybe that says something about the Western Conference just in general, or the Eastern Conference in general. But what do you guys think? I mean, what's the rest of the season look like? We're probably, what are we, about halfway, almost exactly halfway through?
A little more than halfway.
Yeah. What do you think, Ben?
I think ultimately it felt like, I'll reiterate, at the beginning of the season, I still thought the world of our team. I thought with Nancy coming in and the players we had and how we were going to play this like really attacking soccer, we were just going to run over people, and we started off like doing that. But after, going through half a season and, kind of retrospect, looking at it and seeing that, again, last game, 4 people starting out of position. We don't have a center back on the field, and we're 7th in the, supporter sheet. We're 5th in the East, but the East is tough. I think we're doing and we're also trending up. I think the most important thing is in the past 5 games, we have 4 wins and 1 tie. And like we said last game, we also had Viacia and Deganek and people starting to be back on the bench. And now we're a week and a half away from the trade window opening up. And we already signed a left back. Like I can't be any more excited, right?
We got depth.
It's starting to, we're starting to roll, and we haven't even gotten started.
I really think.
Go ahead, Tracy.
I was just gonna say, I think the next 4 games are going to be like really key to this season. So you've got 7-1, 7-4, 7-8, and 7-15. So 4 games before we go into the mid-season tournament. And and we're going to play Red Bull, Miami, NYCFC again, and Portland. So this could really be the if we come out of this, especially if we're able to go 4 wins, that's going to be huge. Or any positive aspect of this, because once again we're playing Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, get a break, and then following Saturday. With the holiday and everything else, I think that this 2-week span is going to be key to the season, or at least key to the Eastern Conference standings.
Does it scare any of you guys at all having center backs come back that should be playing in their proper positions when these people that are playing out of position have been performing so well?
What do you mean?
I'm hoping he keeps it exactly as it is.
Well, hey, so let me ask you this, because I don't remember which game it was, but was it Nashville? Because I heard you say earlier, Trey, that I think it was Trey that said that the last game we lost was against Nashville in Nashville, right?
Mm-hmm.
And was that the game where we pulled Quentin at the half?
No,
or was
Colorado
that the game
was.
after? That was the next game.
Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado was
Correct.
the game that we pulled him. Yep.
And so against Colorado, we won, and that was at home. That was like a Wednesday
Correct.
game, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And then we beat Charlotte, and then we beat Chicago in the late winter, tied NYCFC, and then beat Nashville.
So I'm
good run-
reinforcing
good run of form.
kind of what Hawes is saying. I'm not trying to pile on Quentin.
No.
He had a tough run, a few games there, and got pulled and hasn't seen the field since. But neither have these injured players, and we've been doing pretty well with this back line.
Real question:
hoping-
with you,
what
Haas.
do you do with Zawadzki?
He goes back.
How
and
do you
keep
keep
on the
him
bench
off the field? Man,
No. I think you keep him there.
I do too. Okay, cool. I thought I was the only person that's nuts. I'm looking at the team, and like the last game, we were like, "Are you play your best 11?" Cool.
Well,
I've bought into that. I think that's a great thing. But he's in our best 11.
if Deganek,
man.
Viacia, and we have a new center back, all healthy and available, and say that new center back is
Moreira.
ready to go, and
Mm-hmm.
Moreira, there's no way he stays as a center back.
Okay.
I don't know. I
Wait,
just don't know. Go ahead.
If the one is Deganek is the one that would kick him to the bench.
Displace him. Yeah.
Yeah, displace him to the bench. Besides that,
Kick is a great pun.
I think Viacia doesn't push him there.
No.
I think the new guy doesn't push him there. I think the attitude that this defense is currently playing with compared to what we were seeing early in the season is what he wants to see.
Especially Moreira.
Well, yeah. I mean,
The
this
last game, he
defense
was
is actually
monster.
giving confidence to the offense. That's what I'm seeing.
I like that take. The issue I have is that you have, and again, you know me, left-footed left center back. You know how I talk about it. I hate how I talk about it. But he loves a left-footed left side of the field. Makes sense. If Zawadzki, so let's say Deganek comes back, cool. I prefer him in the center of the field. Great. That pushes Moreira to the right, which is fair. You can't not play Moreira. But that pushes Zawadzki to the left, but he's not left-footed. So, and we just, brought on a left-footed left center back.
Amundsen has been
Amundsen's
good
been
the last
playing
couple
well.
of games.
Yeboah has as well.
Coming in the last couple of
Yeah, but that's exactly.
So,
I was like, what do
I
you
think
do?
what we're
it's
talking
a
about
good
is champagne problems at this point.
for sure. That's what perfect.
But
We've got players playing well in positions that they're being put into. We just need the players that are going to be coming back from injury to come off the bench and start playing well and then see where it goes.
Yeah.
I don't think they should be starting. Why? Why would you start them?
I'm having a hard time, man. I'm having a hard time.
You're probably going to try to get through the next couple of games, and you have the League's Cup, where you can maybe try to get some people in
Test
a little
things
bit
out.
again and test
Get
things
some
out
reps.
a little bit.
Mhm.
But we talked about where we are and everything. I think we clearly start to see it as instill the culture. I kind of said, let's ask me when it comes to the summer what I think about how things are going. So I think it's a little early in the summer. We'll see when we come to the end of the summer. after the transfer window. But I mean, he's really everybody knows what they're doing out there. That's the thing. It seems like there's a structure. We can see it as the fans. We can say, okay, this is what we expect. We kind of know what the best lineup is. Yes, there's a couple of changes in the defense and all that, but we know what the team should look like every game. That's a good thing. And we know also when we miss a player, we know who should be slotted in there. There's less and less questions, and it's a much more cohesive team. And also when we have like fixed the defense a little bit, man, it's not a team in the league I think we can't beat. I mean, yeah, and
We've proven that.
No, we haven't proven that except for Cincinnati. We have to prove it when they come.
Shut your mouth! I didn't want you to say that out loud.
Yeah, no, but that's how it is. They're way ahead of everybody in the league.
We could
They
have
got
beaten
smashed
them.
by DC this weekend. Whoa, Santos. Whoa.
When do we play Cincy
Oh
next?
yeah, and Ben. Yeah,
In August, I
August
think.
20th.
Time to get fully healthy and
Yeah.
play them. That's exciting.
at
I
home.
think we plan on sitting out front and doing a special little thing for that game, but we'll see how that goes.
So
Little
that could
teaser.
be, yeah, we're going to talk about that a lot because it might be, if we don't move on from the St. Louis and America game, it's going to be a long, like 3 weeks without a game before that game.
Yeah, we'll talk about Leeds Cup.
Yeah.
I'm not too. It'd be interesting to see some of the new faces and see what's going on, and bringing some of the guys back that are healthy to see how they actually are playing.
Yeah, and
So,
yeah,
do you
talk
see
about that.
Leagues Cup, just before we change subjects, do you see Leagues Cup as that? Is this a try a new lineup? Play differently than you might. I'm just thinking of the
I think they're going to
U.S. Open Cup, right? Like
No,
where things kind of change, or are we gonna go for the kill?
This going to be they're going to treat these games as any other MLS game.
Yeah, I think they are too.
It-
I think
it's
that's what
the
Don
league-
Garber's asking him to
the
do.
league
Like,
is
you gotta
high on
play it.
this. That's why
Yep.
they have
Yep.
no other games. There's like you play on a normal schedule.
Yeah,
These games. So yeah, it's
Okay.
going to be 100% just a normal MLS game. But yeah, at the same time, you have that at least the option of changing a player or two if needed.
Yeah, roll out the new back three, like the original back three. Deganek in the middle, Moreira on the right, Biasi on the left, or the new guy on the left, and see how they play. Worst case scenario is they don't perform, and then we know. Again, ultimately for me, I'm looking at this before we move on. I know we want to put a pin in this, but I just don't see how you keep Zawadzki off the field. That guy has been kind of an impact player since he's come on.
I want him to be
I-
on the field, but I just don't see a spot for him.
I
Maybe
mean, Morris
maybe
and
can sub
Nagby.
sub him on before the 80th minute or something. Or maybe start
Yeah,
subbing
he's
some
been an
quality
impact
players
player when
in,
he
like,
comes
at
on. He
60.
scores. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Champagne problems, baby.
Yep.
Well, yeah, until you make a bunch of changes, and then you can't figure out how to win. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's going to happen,
But
but we've got a
Never
good
change a
vibe
winning
going.
team.
So that's
that's true,
a tough decision. So let's, as Trey said, let's make it through the next four, and maybe that can make the transition a little easier. I'm going to leave it up to you guys. You want to take a break, or you want to just jump right into
Let's just
next
bust
week?
out New York.
Okay. All right. So we've got Red Bull at home this week. I know Ben wants to jump into this because he wants to go through the results from last week.
That's right, baby girl.
Let's see. So, Mort, I'll hand it over to you. Give us a rundown of the predictions table, the results from last week. We'll talk about current standings with Haas, and then we'll lay out our predictions for this weekend against Red Bull.
Okay, so last game against Nashville, as we talked about, we won 2-0. And both Haas and myself, we had ties, so we got no points. Trey and Mars had wins, but the wrong kind of wins. And Ben, with a perfect 2-0 prediction, gets 3 points. Congratulations, Ben.
I'm sorry. My headphones cut
Just
out.
keep
Can you
talking. Please
talk
keep
about that
talking.
last part?
Okay, moving on.
Welcome to the club, Ben.
yeah.
You got one right.
So
I was actually looking for my guitar because I learned the Smooth song.
but also
but
with that
I can't
extra
find it.
point, Morrison moved up to 13 points in the lead, still in the lead, and as an all-time record, 13 points.
Oh, I am. Even with Ben's correct prediction, I'm still in the lead.
Yes,
and I'm
he
still
is.
setting records.
But Ben is cutting the lead, and he's right behind you at 12 points.
Yeah,
And he's
silver's
followed
worth
by-
more than gold. I'm not sure
Yep.
if that's accurate. But
And then Trey followed on 9, and I dropped down 1 to 8, but I still have Haas behind me on 6 points.
6 points, Haas.
Haas.
Haas, aren't you?
Jinx.
One of
Haas,
these days.
isn't Haas the one who? Haas, don't you do the most sports betting too?
Sports betting isn't predicting scores. I also screwed my bet up this weekend.
It's not?
And I had a great bet and screwed it up. So
Also, wasn't that great?
nope.
That's simple.
If it was the bet I thought I placed, it would have been great.
Yeah. Well, you need to find a neighbor
Not how bad
to
it
help
works.
you with the
Reading's
with the
hard.
computer. Are you on Windows? Are you on AOL? Okay. So before we jump into this week's predictions, we said we are 7th in the league, 5th in the East. Haas, give us the rundown of where we stand if I missed anything, and then where New York's at.
Crew are in 5th place in the East, 19 games played, 9 wins, 4 draws, 6 losses for 31 points. New York Red Bulls, 19 games played, 5 wins, 8 draws, 6 losses, 23 points. They have won 2 of their last 5, 2 losses, 2 draws. Or I'm sorry, 2 losses, 2 wins, and a draw.
And we are going to be out Morris again for a Gold Cup,
Morris
and they are going to be out.
and Jason Russell Rowe.
Yeah.
Okay,
And they should be missing Corey Burke with Jamaica and Tolkien with the U.S.
Which are huge losses because it looks like their leading assist person was John Tolkien with 4, and their Corey Burke was tied for the leading scorer with
2.
2.
No,
They have multiple people,
Ooh.
2 goals.
Oh, they also had Date Van Zier on 2, which has been a nightmare. Their best
they
player is Tolkien.
both scored against us, didn't they? Van
Is
Zier.
Van Zier still on the team?
Oh yeah, he had a
reinstated. Yeah.
he had a controversy, right?
Oh, they got rid of the coach.
yeah,
though,
racist.
didn't
Oh,
they?
he was racism.
Let's not
Racism.
talk about it. Yeah.
I forgot what it was. I just
Okay, let's
now I
talk
remember.
about it.
Yeah, we don't need to get into it. I just every time they said his name when we played them away, I thought they were saying Manzier, and it was funny until he scored at the end of the game. Okay, so we can move on from that.
It was hilarious. You're right. Anyway, couldn't stop laughing because of the name.
Okay, all right.
it's always
Well-
close. It's always close in these games. I think
Yeah.
our record is 500 pretty much against them over time in a long time rival.
Let me see where. how
And I know
Yep.
football doesn't have all the games, but I think in the last 35 games we're like 13-8 and 13.
They whooped Atlanta 4-0 last week or yesterday.
Right.
Sound like they're us last year. They're kind of like, what did you say, 8 ties?
Mm.
That's a lot.
That's the one I messed up. I thought I bet that game to be over 1.5 goals, and I somehow selected Atlanta to be over 1.5 goals rather than the game.
There we go.
Man, it's that
You
internet.
should be
dude.
betting more.
It's that
Yeah.
internet.
Should put more money on that.
In your
I've been-
defense, it's
I've been hearing a lot about that internet, and it's,
It's a new thing.
yeah.
kids
All right.
love it. Kick flips.
Haas,
soda
you need to
pop.
go down to like a booth somewhere. Like get yourself a bookie, and that way there won't be anything lost in
Scioto Downs,
technology.
I
man.
might actually
South High.
learn how to do sports betting.
Yeah. Okay, so Ben, you're on the spot.
Yeah.
What's the score going to be?
I'm gonna do 2-0. 2-0 crew.
2-0. You're.
That's original. That's good.
Oh yeah. So
That's good.
Mort, do you?
There's
still
only
have a running-
so many
Right,
scores.
right. Do you have a? Well, you say that, but we're wrong all the time.
6-7.
So like,
Are we though?
most of the time.
Look at me.
Most
You know what I'm
He's
saying?
picked 2-0 5 times this season.
Okay.
Yes.
Allegedly.
All right. I wanted to go 2-0, but now I wouldn't be able to.
Now you
handle-
can't.
I
No,
wouldn't be
you
able to
can
handle-
because they'll be like, "Oh, Ben copied you," and then
Well, that's what happens
All right.
every week.
All right. Ben goes with his standard 2-0.
okay.
Mort, are you had planned to skip tonight,
Yeah, I'm
and
changing.
you said 3-2
Oh,
at
yeah,
the
not
beginning of the
standing-
show.
well,
No, should you? You think they're
I'm
going to score
anxious
2
to
goals? Have
hear-
they
I'm
scored
anxious-
2 goals all
Now-
season?
Now
They
that
scored-
Yeah, they
now that
scored
we've had
4
the
last week.
discussion, now that we had the
Agree to
discussion,
disagree.
And 2 the
Uh,
week before.
yeah, so,
has your opinion changed?
yeah, it has changed a little bit. One thing, if you look at the history of this is always tight. Almost every game is 2-1, and we usually split them with a losing away and a winning at home. Almost every year, it's 3-2, 1-0, 2-1, and 3-2 is actually a very
Sounds
common
like a lot
score.
of numbers.
But it would have normally, I would say 3-2, but since we are improved and we will win, but we're going to win 3-1. And
3-1.
I think I called 3-1 about like 10 times this season. So it's got to be this one.
Okay. All right. You know, it's probably better to just pick a score, you know, because
I got to start thinking about this stuff before. I'm like,
see,
who's
what
a
I
Red
like
Bull?
to do
Stole
is
my
pick a
score.
score that won't occur, you know.
Like 1-0.
So yeah, we'll see. Trey, what about you?
Morton had me worried a little bit. I am going 3-2.
Okay.
I think it's a good score line.
All right. As a person who recently guessed 3-2,
Who scored last week? For them?
boy, is it frustrating to watch a 2-0 scoreline. It's just like from oh boy, there's a lot fewer goals than I thought there was going to be.
Yep.
So good luck to you, Haas.
Since Mort stole my score, I'm going 4-1. 4-1 crew.
4-1.
Ooh, boy.
Almost,
It's going to be a
almost
like it.
celebration.
I almost went there. I love it. Loving it.
You gonna bet that one?
Okay. All right. I'll go. I'll. Yeah.
Isn't this
Do you know how to
technically
bet that
betting
one?
it?
I'll. I did want to go 2-0. I think that's the right score. But I'm not willing to share victory with Ben, so I'll say 2-1. Yeah, we'll see how it unfolds. So,
Yeah, last week
all right.
Frankie Amaya had 2 goals coming on at 77. There's no way they're scoring. Sorry.
2-1 for me. Anything else? Who's going? Same 3 of you.
I will be there.
I
will be there.
probably will not.
But your 10-week-old baby will be, right?
She's starting.
No, she's 6,
Oh, she's on the bench.
Yeah, she
6 games
She
old.
doesn't miss games.
She's
She's 6 games old.
She's in the executive box. Trey is
Yeah,
out
her
working.
and her hair.
to-
Yep.
Okay.
Must
All
be
right.
nice to
Well,
have hair.
man, I'm excited. Yeah, Red Bull is a storied rivalry.
Yeah.
Love playing
Yeah,
Red
they
Bull,
suck.
especially in Carson, California. So
Can we
Let's,
cover one more item before closing it out?
yeah, please, yeah.
Ooh, let's do it.
Thanks to Supporter Supply, the Upper 90 Club is
yeah.
giving away a Mellow Yellow jersey to the first participant that predicts 3 correct score lines. We have 1 current participant with a correct score from this week.
Yaxon.
So get on your socials and participate. And
Yeah, I
Win
missed
that
that at the
jersey.
top. So it's Upper 90 Club Pod on Twitter and Instagram.
Mhm.
And
I've been slacking on Instagram. I'm sorry.
Slack
You didn't
on
need to
Slack.
say that.
And we are allowed to participate, but we can safely say that nobody's going to win. So
But hold on. But now that he's said it, I think we should just say that if you're thinking that, where did they go? It's Haz's fault.
It is.
Okay. All right. And are we doing clips on YouTube? We doing clips? Gonna clip it?
We actually tried to last week.
Super clips?
I reviewed all of what we said, and nothing was great, so we didn't do it.
Okay.
So
And not even your score prediction. Okay. All right. Well, with that, let's sign off, and there may be clips at Upper 90 Club. Go Crew.
go crew.
Thanks everyone for joining the club. We hope you'll listen next week and every week, even in the off season, to celebrate or commiserate. We'll save you a seat. If you like this podcast, please give us 5 stars and subscribe. You can email us at upper90clubpod@gmail.com. That's upper90clubpod@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at upper90clubpod. Go Crew!
Danny Bonaducci.
Danny Bonaducci.
Just the name of a person. Danny Bonaducci.